when you come across a error correction question like this one on the screen, what you should do is try and eliminate from the various topics that you've studied under grammar. For instance, I might look at the sentences and read them aloud, perhaps in my head, and try and figure out if there's something wrong with perhaps articles or subject-verb agreement, or if the tenses are inconsistent, and that is what will help me to figure out the error in here. For instance, as soon as I read sentence A over here, I know that there has to be an indefinite article here before friend, either a or an, right? Why? Because you know that friend here is a singular and a countable entity, and the rule under articles tells you that you necessarily need an a or an indefinite article before a singular and countable entity, right? So therefore we know that it has to be if you're trying to convince your kids or a friend. Similarly, again, here joy requires an indefinite article. It should be that gardening is a joy and not a drudge. Normally, we know that we don't use articles with abstract nouns like joy, but then going with the parallel usage of a drudge here, again, joy being used as an object for gardening, a singular object, we have to use a over here. So it will become that gardening is a joy and not a drudge. Again, in D, it's the usage of the wrong article, the. Definite article will not be used here since you're not talking about any specific vegetable, are we? We're talking, we're talking in general about better vegetables, and therefore we will use an indefinite article a over here, and the sentence should become you couldn't pick a better vegetable to prove your point, right? And therefore we know for sure that the answer for this, the sentences which have errors, has to be A, C and D, which is option C. We mark that as our answer.